So Clinton Kane just responded to Brooke Schofield with 29 TikToks, and the only thing people think this has proved about him is that he is far more narcissistic than we had thought he was. Not that Clinton Kane wanna be Brooke, except he titled this series, "Who the F Did I Date? Not marry." Yeah, homeboy really thought he did something with that one.
No man.
Apart from this, we also need to talk about Clinton getting exposed for allegedly messaging minors in a recent TikTok video with a screen recording, but more on that later. He also turned off the comments on every single one of these videos in response to Brooke, which in and of itself is pretty telling. Like, why don't you want to allow room for people to respond to this or make comments about it? I guess it makes his ego happy thinking he's controlling the narrative by disabling the comments, but no, it doesn't mean this would stop people from talking about this all over Reddit, which we'll get into shortly afterwards. Now, pretty much the entire thing was Clinton talking for 30 minutes and focusing on quote-unquote lies that Brooke told in her videos, seemingly trying to debunk each and every one of them, rather than addressing the bigger picture at play. The bigger picture, of course, being him lying about his entire existence and his family dying. But all people got from this was that the lies that he was trying to debunk was just Brooke exaggerating rather than making things up that didn't actually happen, which is what he did. To a lot of people, it's just so obvious that his team had taken days to plan out this calculated, cherry-picked response and did a shitty job at it. I do have to note that people also noted that for a decent amount of the videos that he posted, there was no green screen effect tagged on the videos on TikTok, meaning that these videos had to have been recorded elsewhere off of the app rather than making a genuine raw response directly from the TikTok app, which goes to show to a lot of people that there were most likely people hired or that he used his team to help him publish his response. To start off, Clinton claims that him and Brooke didn't start dating until June, but then he shows all these very couple-like texts from May. Sure, they might have not been official the whole time, but I think any sane person can agree that if someone was talking like that, you'd count those months as being together, which was what Brooke did. And people don't see anything wrong with that.
Who did I date? Not marry. Lie number 16.
He must also speak another language that he never told me about. So how scary is that? How
scary is it for someone to be bilingual? I don't understand why this would be scary. And second, we dated for 3 months. Would anyone know everything about someone in 3 months?
Hey guys, I'm Long as I speak fluent Russian. If I was dating someone for 3 months and they didn't know I spoke fluent Russian, they didn't know I was bilingual, there is something seriously wrong with that relationship. That is something that will come up in the first week of a relationship. It's a part of who you are, and if you're not telling someone that, you're hiding something. I'm sorry, I do not believe Clinton Kane even a little bit. Brooke for president.
And it's the fact that he thinks he had some sort of gotcha moment with this, as if him lying about his entire existence wasn't far worse, just says a lot about his character. He goes on to point out a bunch of frivolous, irrelevant stuff that doesn't have to do with the main reason people have been side-eyeing him, and most importantly, Brooke, which is about the whole lying about his mom's passing, on top of his fake Australian accent, and claiming he was Australian, and a bunch of other shallow stuff that one normally wouldn't think to lie about. Now, to summarize everything else in a nutshell, since I'm sure most of you guys don't want to hear Clinton Kane yapping for 30 minutes straight, he nitpicks everything Brooke said. Again, they officially dated for 3 months according to him, and he was heavily focused on that. However, they were involved together from May to October, making it 6 months. Also, Brooke was unaware that his dad had actually passed away, so in one podcast, she did end up mentioning that he was alive, which he decided to use against her, claiming that she lied because of that. Brooke also once suggested that Clinton's mom might not know English, and he found that offensive.
No, I'm sorry, you guys. I got to the bread and butter. Check this one out.
I haven't spoken in a very long time. For the record, I never admitted anything to her.
For the record, I never admitted anything to her. Okay, very next video.
Who did I date? Not marry. Line number 24.
She doesn't even speak English. Doesn't even. First of all, she does speak English. Second of all, this is a very triggering statement. and is very offensive to a lot of people. Who did I date?
Nobody is shaming your mother for not speaking English. I wasn't sure if she spoke English because on her Facebook, which she writes on actively, she doesn't speak in English. And I know that you know a language that you never told me about in the six months that we dated. But hello, what's funny about this is he goes, she does actually speak English, as in she is alive.
You guys, he was just bringing up the most irrelevant stuff, and the gaslighting was showing through. He also brought up that Brooke said she had untreated mental illness while she was with him, but he argued that since she knew about her diagnosis at 18, that she was aware she had BPD and still chose to be with him. Which I just don't get what he thinks he's doing saying these type of stuff, like as if what he lied about wasn't worse. He was also trying to act like he had these bombshell receipts, but everyone on social media is just like, this all seems to be a distraction from the serious allegations against him. Allegations of the unaliving of his mom and brother and using it to manipulate her into doing things and feeling guilty. I will say, however, the man did end up admitting to cheating, so we'll give him that.
Who did I date, not marry, accountability. Okay, so this video is now going to be about me taking accountability for everything I did wrong in the relationship. First of all, I did cheat. It was a weak move to do, and I am sorry for it. I've apologized to Brooke privately countless times, profusely, months after we broke up. And what tends to happen is, as soon as I want out of a relationship, for reasons like, it's unhealthy or it's like a sudden realization that it won't work, I never know how to come to terms with that emotion, and I go the way and give them a reason to break up with me instead of, just manning up and doing it myself. As a kid about it, and for most of my life, I didn't know all my life.
Now, in a turn of events, Brooke ended up seeing all the videos that Clinton had posted, and she posted a couple of TikToks in response back to him, being like, you need to hire a publicist, this is not it. Now, over on Reddit, a lot of people have some things to say about Clinton's whole entire response. Here's what many people have been having to say, and let's just say they're all finding his response laughable and condemning him for continuing to be a manipulative narcissist. I love his multiple accents throughout his 19+ part series. The fact he thinks Brooke being inconsistent with the timeline of their relationship is as bad as him lying about his mother is funny. Brooke embellishing her story is nowhere near as bad as him of his own mom. Bro, I can't even remember how old I am half the time. Her getting dates wrong isn't that bad. He literally lied about his entire existence. You said I lied about my mom being dead on June 5th, but I actually lied about it on June 12th. Brooke never went to the studio. Immediately shows a picture of Brooke at a studio. Also, the way his comments are off. If you think you're right, say it with your chest then. So what I gathered after shamelessly watching every part is Brooke may have exaggerated the timeline or other useless details, but the bulk of what she said is completely true. He really said, yeah, I said my whole family is dead, but Brooke said my mom didn't speak English. So, it's not a flex to show how you abused and manipulated her into coming back. He's such a POS. We were getting burgers for 2 hours, not 4. That is so not the problem. Following this whole Brooke Schofield situation, as it's been going absolutely viral, it's also recently come out that Clinton Kane has been allegedly messaging a minor. The crazy thing about this is that this TikTok video came out back in March, way before Brooke spoke out against him in her multi-part series. So it's not like the video was made for clicks or views or anything, or that this girl could be clout chasing, as we've seen with other influencers in the past. At least that's not what people think, and the screen recordings are saying a lot, and it's not good. Brooke herself even commented under this video during the time and said, oh, absolutely not.
Clinton Kane lied about his mother passing.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this one. So I was in LA with my little sister and mom, and my sister points out Clinton Kane. She was like obsessed with his music at the time, so she ran up to him and asked for a picture. He was so nice to us in person, like asked how old I was, like, oh, I'm 18. I was 18 at the time and she was 15. And so he was like, awesome, well, it's great to meet you guys. And then we, set apart. My little sister posted it on her Instagram story tagging him, and next thing you know, he responds to her DM. See, at first you can see her being like a fangirl, and then he says this, Then he asked where we live, and she said Georgia. And he said, come. She goes, to LA? Yes. So, and then he like triple DM'd her, thought you wanted me to fly you out. He said, I do. I want a live concert. Knowing she's 15, he goes, you're the one who said yes to formally flying like him out. And then she said yes again. She goes, perfect. Why didn't you flirt this hard when you saw me in real life? I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, Clinton. Well, now you can do whatever you can think of when you come see me in Vegas without being nervy. Haha. I'm nervy to reply. Haha, what did you want to say? Say it now. Tell me all of it. Be straight up, like forwardness. Don't put me on the spot. First off, this was my birthday gift. Showing it's Clinton Kane tickets. And then there's just more DMs. There's pictures and pictures and pictures. But those are some of the worst ones in my opinion, because we had just met him and she was 15. I know she was flirting back, but she was 15. When I saw that he was talking to her over DMs, and it wasn't just like flirting, it was like the things you could do to me in person. It was like, this is my 15-year-old sister. I'm not listening to your music. Like, no more chicken tendies. I've been waiting for him to get canceled, so I hope this reaches the right audience.
And people all over Reddit found this alleged response very disgusting, just the way he was allegedly using his power imbalance to allegedly speak to this naive 15-year-old little girl who was nothing but a fan. And I have to put an emphasis on alleged for legal reasons. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments down below. What did you think about his response? And do you think he's just grasping at straws at this point? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to know. I love you guys so much. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.